Hey, Soul Simmers, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to try something a little new. I've never done this before, so I'm kind of just winging it. But I wanted to take an opportunity to go over one of my most successful businesses to date in The Sims. One of my favorite things to do is to create retail lots in The Sims, and I've been pretty successful with them in the past. It's one of my favorite gameplays, but today I'm going to go ahead and showcase to you one of my favorite ones. And this is a Nectar store, bar, I don't know what you want to call it, but obviously you can't run it as a bar and a retail store at one time. So there's a little bit of imagination play happening there. But as you can see, this is the interior layout. This is the downstairs floor. So what I do in my retail lots is I like to have them live there, as well as run a retail store. So during the day we run a business, and then at night we kind of just do our thing. So this is a newer concept. Usually I have an apartment upstairs, but for this particular build, it's kind of all incorporated, at least on the first floor here. So we have our employees joining us. So these guys are all trained up. They're usually pretty good with their tasks. Sometimes they need a little bit of reminding and a little bit of reprimanding, but it does take a little bit of time. Because you can see here, this guy with the blue hair, he is having a little drink on the job. Over here we have Chloe, who is assigning tasks to the employees as soon as they arrive. I don't like to autonomously have them do tasks, because what happens is they end up doing things I don't want them to do, like restocking. I'll get into that a little later. As you can see, I've moved upstairs here. I just wanted to give you a quick look of what our upstairs kind of looks like here. So they have a little apartment, a little private area over here with their bedroom, a little office. And you can see over here is their station where we do the nectar making. So, and then upstairs is this little greenhousey. It's not really a greenhouse, but they grow year round because I have them inside, so I'm able to get grapes full time year round. So Jasper here is our winemaking expert, and I'm going to have him come up here and harvest these grapes here in a little bit. But a little bit of backstory. So this Jasper and Chloe are I would say my legacy Simsoleret. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you would recognize that concept. But here's my wine cellar. What you do is you create the nectar, and it ages faster in the basement. Still seems like it takes forever, but none is ready today. So sometimes the stock is low, but we do have some diversified businesses. So if I'm running low on stock and waiting for some stuff to age, then my Sims now have something else to do. It wasn't always that way. There was a time when lights were getting shut off, and you can see there's an easel there because that's what was keeping the lights on for a little while for these guys. It was really tough for a while. Like, they were really pinching pennies and lights off for a couple of days so they could scrounge up enough money, because they took every penny they had and bought this place and started the renovations, and they've just been slowly getting it together over time to be at the successful place that they are now. So but Chloe and Jasper, when I first did Simsoleret kind of like dating challenge thing, this version of Chloe, I have her in multiple different gameplays. She's lived a dozen lives. She's my absolute favorite Sim. But I'll touch on that on another video some other time, the many faces of Chloe. But in this life of Chloe's, she was on Simsoleret, and her and Jasper were the winning couple, and they won $100,000. And they took that money and decided to invest it and bought this place. You'll recognize this as one of the karaoke clubs from one of my prior, actually from the Sims builds that are just there in the city. So you can see here, we got Judith over here. She's coming to my nectar place. I wonder if that's a sign that it's doing good. But you'll see various bottles of nectar around where the Sims can just peruse and look for it. Everybody's really sad. Both of their parents recently died. So things are a little dramatic right now. You'll see that they have a kid, and that's a new development. I initially was not going to give them kids, but it always happens. I can't help myself, and they ended up with a kid. I was able to wait till they age to an adult, which for me is still monumental to get that far. I play on long life, so sometimes I get bored with a pair or a storyline before they even age up. But these guys have been playing for a really long time. Like I said, I'm on long lifespan, and they're already well into their adult lives. You can see I've got Sims here kind of doing their thing. And what I did here was my employees, they're just talking to, oh, we have a sale here going on, and Jasper's getting ready to make some inventory. I just have the employees chat with the customers. That kind of helps the customers get to a sale faster. And then it gets your employees' sales skills up faster. So I have my employees just focus 100% on that. I don't have them clean. I don't have them restock. I definitely don't restock. And I'll explain that in a minute as to why I don't restock. And whenever I do a retail store, and this is a great example, is I make my own product. Like I don't like grab goods from like the buy catalog or anything like that, because it's just more money out. So I have no money out other than my wages. Everything that I sell, I create. Occasionally we'll sell a painting here, but on this lot to kind of keep things going. Sometimes Nectar can be a little slow to age, but I always create something. So we're either creating and then selling that product for the most profit. In this case, we're selling Nectar, which is definitely very profitable. Now you could jack the percent increase on your business to get a higher profit, but what I've noticed with many different times of playing retail stores is you increase the percent of profit on it, you'll sell less in a day. So I don't remember what this one is set at, but I have it in a sweet little spot where I can average roughly, I want to say 40,000 a day. Sometimes it's lower, sometimes it's higher. We haven't opened in a while because they've kind of been living in a different location for a little while here since they've had the baby. But this particular couple, I don't like to be in the city in the winter, don't like the snow. So they have a home that they go to off lot. So of course, living on lot, you have to have one anyway. I think it makes you have a home base. So they do technically have a home base. When I first started with them, they had a home base that was just an empty lot with no house on it. And they lived here full time. And neither of them have real jobs, so it doesn't take them away from the lot unless I intentionally make them leave the lot. So you'll see here we're getting another sale. And yes, the children buy the Nectar. Apparently the game doesn't recognize that it is an alcoholic beverage, but children do come in here. I like to pretend that we make some sparkling cider, and that's what the youth here are buying. But, that's what I pretend. So I'm going to make a sale. And you'll see here the sign, right? The restock sign. I don't restock the items, and that's another reason why I don't let my employees just autonomously go around and do things. I remove the sign, as you can see here. That way I don't get restock fees. We just create new product and move it back out onto the floor. Let me see here. I technically don't think he's slacking off, but when your employees are slacking off, you can click on them and berate them for slacking. I know it sounds kind of harsh, but honestly, if you have a good relationship with your employees, it doesn't really impact it too much. It just kind of makes them go back to work. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I don't have a lot of bugs with this pack, but occasionally, because they're Sims, they do Sim things. But you can see over here, everybody's working. We're making some sales, so things are going good. So when Chloe and Jasper first started out, they were, like I said, they were really poor. Like the lights were being turned off. So what happened was we bought grapes. We invested in the things that we needed to get this off the ground and running. But it was taking forever. Like it seems to take like Sim weeks for this Nectar to be produced. So we literally spent all the money on buying this property because me had this vision of what I really wanted to accomplish here and with this particular lot, because I've always liked this lot, and I don't like the karaoke lot. Like I don't like it as the karaoke lot, but I love the little industrial vibe that it has going. And if you go into your game and check this lot out unmodified, there is this whole second floor that is just empty. It's almost like it's just screaming for you to modify it and do something with it. So that's what I did here. So like I said, they were living like literally pennies, like $0. And Chloe would make some paintings and do several of those to be able to get rent, because even where we were at, our bills were quite high. So we would go without electricity for a couple days. Like, I really felt the struggle here on this, guys, for real. So, anyway, so it takes a really long time for the nectar, but once it starts flowing, and what I've been doing is I like to make like 4 to 5 bottles a day, right? Of course, I need to wait for the grapes to grow, and then there's the bugs with the gardening that sometimes can happen. So these guys have really had to struggle bus for a while. So it took a while for the grapes to grow, and then it was really fun, because it was like, oh gosh, are we going to be successful? Did we really invest all of our money in nothing? And it was just dramatic. So they've had a lot of drama in their relationship, and if we have time, we'll get into that. But as you can see here, they're going through midlife crises. And this is going to be interesting for me to play through, because, reading here some of these things, because like I said before, I plan on long lifespans. By the time sometimes I get to the end of the young adult lifespan, which just the young adult alone is like 180 some days or something like that, I kind of get bored with the story, and I might move on or something, or start a new save file. I'm always starting new save files. So I haven't played through a midlife crisis, so this should be interesting to be able to play through a midlife crisis. So I think I'll go ahead and I'm going to try to find him a bike and see what happens there, and maybe if we can get rid of this midlife crisis, because I think it's ridiculous. They're like, oh, nothing's happening, and my life is boring. Guys, your life is not boring. You own a successful retail store in the big city. You're raking in $40,000 a day when you decide to open. You own, I think it's like 4 or 5 rental properties. I'm currently building another rental property that they're a duplex. You can actually check out that speed build, or the first speed build that I've done on that in my videos. I'll try to remember to link it in here. Can't make any promises. But that's going to be their next investment property, and they already own several. So they're really successful. They finally bit the bullet and had a kid late in life. And so I'm not really sure where this midlife crisis is coming from, but here we are. We're having one, both of us, at the same time. So that should be interesting. You think that Jasper would have been over his midlife crisis when he had a baby with someone else. That's a whole story. We won't get into that here. It's a little taboo. They decided to consensually play the field outside of their relationship and in their relationship. But I went a little rogue here on this save file there for a little while, and it accidentally ended up with a baby with another woman. So Jasper does have a baby somewhere else. Like I said, these guys have had some drama, so I'm not really sure why they want to spice it up with this midlife crisis, but whatever, we'll make it happen. So you'll see one of my rental properties popped up there. We're having a ghost problem. One thing I do, and maybe one day I'll do a video on rentals, because I know a lot of people have problems with rentals and a lot of bugs, and I'll say that I don't really have a whole lot of bugs. Some things are a little glitchy for me, but not anything too crazy. So I think one of these days I'll maybe record a video and kind of just go over some of the nuances of that. But I personally enjoy just owning the rental and reaping the benefits of it. Oh, this girl over here, we're going to lose the sale because we're not getting to her fast enough. So as I'm playing through this, I feel like I'm having some sort of glitch. I downloaded something the other day, and it's been a little bit glitchy ever since then. And I never get glitches, and I say that like I'm all over Facebook. Oh, my computer runs great, but literally I record this video and I'm getting glitches. But that's how life goes, right? So anyways, she wouldn't get over there fast enough, so we lost that sale. So they just get mad. We just lost another one, so that was probably roughly $10,000 that we just lost because we couldn't get to them fast enough. Yes, my employees are sitting on their cell phone, but remember, I don't have them ring up customers. And the reason why I don't have them ring up customers is because 9 times out of 10, what just happened, because of my error and not paying attention. They do, and it's frustrating because I could send my son off to do something else, and then they're not ringing out customers and they're not getting to them fast enough. So typically I feel like I can get to the customers faster if I'm in control of that interaction. And that's what differs between running the retail store and running a restaurant, as you get a little bit more ability here. This is one of the bachelors that she competed with on her season of Sims Lorette. So I think we're going to close here soon. I think I'm going to close at 8 o'clock. We've been open for quite a while. Really want to show you guys a couple of other things with my rental units. But what we'll do is we'll come through and clean this up, and she'll ring up this customer, and hopefully we can wrap things up here. I don't know who this girl is, but she is super pregnant. Let's just come down here. Put this wine away. This is the wine that Jasper just created, so you can just drag and drop it right down into the cellar. I'll tell you, you can age it outside of the cellar, but it does age a little bit faster if it is in a cellar. When I first started with these guys, they just had a single wine rack in their wide open space upstairs before I had any walls or anything. I think I just had a bathroom up there, and that's where they first started creating their wine. So actually, they may have even had a bed downstairs, if I remember correctly, but I've been playing them for a while. We got another customer, so we'll get them rang up, whatever. Jasper's still out riding his bike because it's one of his midlife crisis goals, I guess. I mean, to be fair, I think I've been playing this file long enough that that there was no bikes. Maybe. Depends on which bikes he's riding. I don't remember. But whenever I decide I want to close a retail, I say I'm going to close it at this time. It always seems like that's when everybody starts to want to be rung up. But here we go. We made just over $45,000 today. Sometimes again it's a little lower, sometimes a little higher, but I'd say this is a pretty good haul for one day. Not too shabby. And now that we're established, I mean, it was, like I said, it was really touch and go there for a while. Really added to the drama and the realism of being a small business owner, but they're really successful now. And I was actually really excited when For Rent came out. What are you doing? Why are you riding the bike inside? You're a grown man. Is this part of your midlife crisis? I'm just going to get rid of this bike. This is silly. Can I put it in his inventory? No. I don't think so. Yeah, we'll just sell it. He did it. He fulfilled the goal. And Chloe didn't have that goal, so we'll just be done with it. I never use bikes, and this is why I don't use bikes, because they're insane. So we closed up. Everybody's left for the day. We made a pretty good profit. So at some point here, what we'll do is we'll probably clean up all these signs because we don't want anything to get restocked. Don't want my employees to come in tomorrow and autonomously start restocking because I'm not going to get as much profit if they're spending $8,000 restocking a $10,000 bottle of wine. So these guys are hungry, so let's get them something to eat and get them moved over here as we wrap up for the day for this video. So I'll swing around here and just show you. I just really love this place. Just love the way it came out. It's the vibe that it gives off, and look at him. Isn't he just funny? I love these two, and I don't have time in this video, but I've brought them into other save files, and they're so much fun. I have a story running on my Facebook that is a different version of these two, and they are in that cast of characters as well. Not this particular couple, so just a disclaimer there in case you wander over. I wanted to show you here some of my other lots. So I have these restaurants. Sometimes I don't name them. I just let them default, but I've got a couple restaurants going. I might show you that restaurant at some point, but you can see here my latest profits. Made about $3,000. Restaurants aren't as profitable, I think, as a retail lot. There is a mod, Carl Mods The Sims or something like that. I did just recently get that, and I haven't really had a chance to kind of flesh it out and play a lot, but that seemed kind of neat and got rid of a lot of limitations. And I just recently bought the tea store and trying to turn that into a bar. You'll see here my rental units, and I have several. So I was really excited when you see my profits here will start to come up. But I was really excited when they came out because these guys were having a lot of money and anything to do with it, right? And I don't like using the safe thing or anything like that. So, and this one's really super profitable. So they were really starting to rack up the money, and I get bored when I start making too much money on the Sims, right? Like Rags to Riches is one of my favorite because it's just exciting. So what I did and was most excited about rental when it for rent came out was I was like, oh my gosh, these guys have something they can invest their money in, and that's exactly what they do. I have these rentals set up. A few of them have some family members of theirs. I think Jasper's baby mama is in one of them. Yes, that's her and his little beautiful little daughter there. They're all good. They're all copacetic. Like, it was a consensual thing that was happening and it just went the wrong way and went sideways. So, but life is good now. So they have a little cheaper rent, obviously, and then some of the others. And the thing with rentals is like there doesn't seem to be a rhyme or reason what determines your rent value, but you can see I'm making over $8,000, not in this specific one, but just overall right here on the right, over $8,000 a day. So I think that's like almost, I don't know, I can't do the math right now in my head. It's 8:30 and I worked all day, but that's quite a chunk of change for a week worth of rent. So, and again, it started slow. They built their first rental with the profits from this Nectar business, and they're still working on several of them. I have one 6-unit, like building, like high rise, and some of them are fully finished, and I think one of them houses one of my most expensive rents at like almost 3,000, or maybe it's over 3,000 now. I just am slowly kind of finishing them at times and working on upgrading them. This is Jasper's brother and Chloe's sister. They actually ended up getting together and I didn't even do that, like the game just did it, so I was like, that's really cool. But they're married now and they have a kid and all that stuff, so that's fun. But they rent one of their units as well, get a little bit cheaper rent too for them. So that's all I have for today, guys. So I really appreciate it. Sorry that ended and I wasn't expecting it. I was just rambling on, but I definitely appreciate you joining me today. If you want more, please comment. Don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. This isn't Facebook. What am I talking about? This is my first audio recording, so bear with me as I kind of learn the ropes here. But again, I really appreciate it. If you'd like to learn more about any specific thing, I've been playing these Sims for way too long, since Sims 1. So don't hesitate to comment and let me know what you'd like to see and be interested. So again, appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Thanks, Simmers. Tag.